What's up, guys? My name is Cashion, commonly known as White Trash Willy. I'm 19 years old and from Castro Valley, California. My first trick that I remember landing and I was like, yes, dude, was basically Keelan and I again were like, he was over at my house and it was completely snowed. I lived in Colorado at the time and he still lives there, but anyway, we were at my house and I had this like strip of driveway that was like covered by like my house, and we like would like scooter there because like the rest of my driveway was covered in snow, but it was like outside and like this freezing cold. I remember we had like, at the time we had Razor Ultra Pros that we bought on Amazon, and I remember I did like a half bar and he did a half bar too the same day, and we did it like the opposite way that we bar spin now. We basically just threw it up in the air and like hoped that we caught the bar, but it was like a half bar spin. So anyway, that was like my first trick. I remember landing that like, it's like, oh man, like this is so sick. Like either that or like a 1 foot manual. I'm gonna say those are the two tricks that I'm like my first tricks. So basically, like one of my main influences scooters is like once I started scootering with Keelan, you know, I got like really into like scooter edits and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say like one of my main influences in scooter riding is like Dakota Shoots, because I remember he put out that old video of him at the skate park, and he was like, I mean, he did tricks in that video that I like still haven't seen, like transferring scooters, like going from one scooter to another, and like basically just doing like some sick stuff, and like obviously did like a backflip, and that got me like super hyped, you know, like typical scooter kid of me. But yeah, I mean, probably that video or like Tara Price's first double backflip video. That was another big influence for me, like just seeing like what scooters could do. And then like later on that went to like the Lucky Scooters, like it was like the Clover promo or something like that. And yeah, basically like that video where like James G like 720 flat or something like that, that got me like so hyped. That was really sick. So those are the main videos that like, and yeah, those people and videos along with like Keelan are the people that got me influenced to ride in the beginning. My first scooter was like a Razor A model, but then like I did like a lot of like front feebles on that. Like I don't know why I front feebled before I feebled. Like I naturally don't front feeble, but like for some reason I would do like this front feeble thing. And I would do it on like an unwaxed curb and like literally just grind it down to like nothing, and then like it obviously like snapped and it was so rickety. And then I bought on Amazon Razor Ultra Pro, and it was like the most like unbelievable scooter at the time. Like it was the best thing ever. Like 14 wide by because I remember there was like a Razor Ultra Pro and there was like a Razor Ultra Pro low. I got the low one and it was so good. Like, wow, my favorite video part is probably like recently. I mean, Tyler Bradley's Welcome to Phoenix was like mind blowing. Like just seeing like how front 50s could like be like pushed like that. Like that's so crazy to me. Like that's unbelievable. But like a video that like really like inspired me to like ride, that I would just like always watch, would probably be like, I think it was Jake Clark AOS-V2 video. Just like that song with the video was like so good. Like I think Matty Taravolo edited that. He edited like he did like a really good job with that. Like I think like the editing with that video and like the song, like just the tricks then were like just so wild. I also really liked like what's his name? Ryan Becker. He's from like the East Coast. He basically put out this edit. It was like mostly at like Woodward East, and he does like a lot of like front 50 stuff as well, and like back 50, and like he does like a double backflip randomly in it, and that edit was like so sick to me. Like, yeah, so basically just those edits and like the edits I said earlier that like mainly influenced me. So So some of my main influence in riding is like from the beginning, I always like enjoyed watching like Joe Armstrong and something like that. Like he was like my main like influence when like early on, like when I first like got my first like Mad gear, he was like such a big influence because like the tricks he was doing was like wild. And remember I saw him at Epic, he like threw up to like a 9-stair at this old indoor skate park. He like threw up to 9-stair and like it was just like the gnarliest thing to me. But I'm gonna say like recently like Max Peters, like he's been like on that 50 game and like he's so gnarly now, and like just like all of his flips and everything are just like so good. I don't know, like I like Clayton's riding a lot. His like I feel like me and him like push each other a lot, and I always like enjoy his like motivation and like telling me like weird tricks. And yeah, I mean I don't really like consider myself like Parker Street. Like I have more of a technical riding side, but like I just enjoy like watching Scootering. Like I remember this kid like Michael Knott, he like put out this like really good edit, and like even like something like that got me hyped. Like Asian food as a whole, like it's just so good. Like Chinese food is just so good. Like Panda Express, like I know it's not even like Chinese food, but like that is like my go-to. Or like Thai food is like also so good, and like Japanese food like sushi, like and teriyaki. Oh my gosh, like. Even if they like fuse like Asian food on the like American food, like a teriyaki hamburger, like that's so good. So yeah, probably Asian food. Or Mexican food, they make some pretty good food too. My favorite trick would probably have to be like a 50 variation or like a nose manual. I don't know, I naturally back 50, but I'm like starting to like learn how to front 50 pretty well, and it's, wow, it's like such an awesome trick. Like it's so hard at first, but like once you like start to like get in a groove, it's like really fun. So I'm gonna say either like a 50-50 or a nose manual. I remember the first time that I like, I have like two memories that I have. So the first time, I had literally just gotten my camera. Like I had gotten it like the week before, and it was Woodward, and I was like so hyped. And I was just a camper. Like I was just a camper, like just there for camp, and like I brought my camera. I was like, all right, time to go film. And I remember Sean Cardwell was like gonna jump off like the vert ramp into like this 6-foot quarter. And like I was kind of into photography at the time, like I would like attempt taking photos, but like nothing serious yet. I remember Richie, this guy from Woodward, he basically like handed me the transceiver, which is like the thing that activates the flashes on top, that goes on top of your camera. And he handed me that, and he's like, do you want to shoot this photo? And I was like, yeah. I remember shooting the photo, and he like obviously like Richie like put the settings into my camera to like make it look good. But like I remember just that first time like taking a photo and like with flashes and just like seeing like the end result, like that was so crazy. And like I like looked up to Sean so much then, and like it was just like I basically like took an amazing photo of an amazing pro, and just like all that together was like, I feel like that's like a reason why I still take pictures, like just that like one little event. But the other thing would be probably like when like I first got into contact with Scooter Farm, and I asked them if I could like shoot photos of their team. They had like literally 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I like shot photos of their team, and Nick sent me like a t-shirt, and it was like so cool to me that like I was like shooting for a team, and then like after the camp I got put on the team, and it was like that was like so good. So yeah, probably like getting on Scooter Farm, not like the story behind that, like that was such a good memory. Man, if I had to choose, between steel and aluminum, I'd probably choose aluminum, but there's no aluminum bars big enough, so I'm forced to choose steel. But Scooter Farm and Youth Gone Wild have just put out titanium bars, and I'm running them right now, and they're so good. So titanium, that's the final answer. Why do you like titanium? I like titanium because it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of a weight weenie. I'm not like the strongest person, so like whipping my scooter around is like, it's like difficult. Like I don't do any like complex tricks, but like I just like a light scooter, and having light bars that feel like steel bars when you throw a bar spin, like what better can it get, really? I mean, I had front flips. I don't anymore, but at one point in time I could front flip every try over Resi. And then I like lost him in Australia. So, but I suck at front lips too. Like I hate that trick. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say front lip because I can actually do those. Backlip or backflip? Well, I learned how to backflip first, so backflips are easier, and I'm better at backflips now, so I'm gonna say backflip because I like how it feels more. But a backflip is a crowd pleaser, but I don't like them very much, so backflip. On the issue of SMX or scootering, I really have respect for like Corey and Capron and like I guess that guy they're working with, but like I don't see how SMX makes like any sense. Like if we had the abbreviation like STR for like a short for like scooter, like I feel like that makes sense, but SMX to me just sounds like what it sounds like to me is like Capron and Corey ride like a BMXer. So because of them, it's like selfish for them to say like, oh, well, like since we ride like a BMXer, we're SMXers. And I don't know if I really support that, because that'd be like if some street person or like a street style rider was like, let's change the name to scootboarding. And that would be like, oh, well, we don't just like scooter like skateboards, that's just you. So I just feel like maybe an abbreviated term would be good, but I don't feel like SMX specifically like is a good term, because scootering, like although I think it's like correct, it just like it comes off as like an awkward like word. And like seriously, like no disrespect to Capron and Corey, like I have so much respect for you guys, like I'm not trying to like come off like a or anything. I'm just saying like how I like really feel, and like I hope to not like endanger anything with that. So I used to run pegs, and then I basically like used to be like, I was like live or die pegs, and then like I don't know, I feel like way more confident like doing a 50 without pegs for some reason. Like I feel like when I'm like on the pegs, like I feel like I'm just gonna grind slow. Like I just don't feel like I'm like in it. Like I don't know, I don't understand pegs. Like I used to, I just don't anymore. So I'm gonna say no pegs, like because then you can do wall rides way easier and it's just like fun. Like just get a wider deck. Like that's what I did. So the reason I made my deck a 5.25 box deck, and that's like because I remember like Stan Smirnoff back in the day, he had like the 5.25 deck, but it wasn't boxed. Like the bottom was like 4.5 wide. Like it was kind of weird. I had one actually for like a day, and then I love you, Stan, but like that deck was a little bit weird. But I don't know. Like I think now it's like because I ran like a Phoenix Ion for a little bit, because I was kind of like, oh, I need 5 wide, and then I was like oh, like why can't I just like add some like board rails to like my deck and like make it 5 wide? And then I like started looking at it, and I was like, oh, it's kind of awkward to make it 5 wide, because I'd have to add like a weird, like an awkward amount to each side to make it 5 wide. So I was like, oh, I could just add a 1/4 inch to each side, because my deck is 4.75 wide, like a 1/4 inch strip on each side, and then it'd be 5 1/4 wide. It's like, and then if I don't like it, I'll just take it off. Like it won't be a problem. And then like I just fell in love. Like I don't think I could run anything else than 5.25. Like it's so perfect. Like I don't see why anyone else doesn't ride. Like I got Clayton on a 5 wide deck, so I mean that's just saying something. But yeah, I mean if anyone's like curious like on how I did it, just like DM me or something. I can go into like more detail. I'm not trying to waste time here. I like 115, so I was running Eagle Radix wheels for a little bit, and like those were 115, and I think those are the best, because it's like you're a little bit higher off the ground, but I feel like with 120s I'm like on stilts or something. Like I don't know, I just don't like it. But then like with 110s I just feel like it could be a little bit bigger, because I think a scooter with bigger wheels like looks better. So yeah, I'm gonna say 115s, because I've ridden them for like almost a year, and I just recently went back to 110s because I don't have any more Radix wheels. But yeah, 115s. Vlogs to me are an interesting topic. Like full respect to like Tanner for like basically being the pioneer of vlogs in the scooter world. I mean, you got like half a Scootering doing it. But vlogs to me are just like it's cool, but I feel like it's kind of going the direction against scooters. Like I know like there's people out there, and I'm gonna say majority of scooter riders that are like doing a good job with vlogs, but I just don't want it to go away from scootering. Like I want it to be about like the vlogs I want the vlogs to help grow the sport. I just don't want the vlogs to be a source of getting kids rich. Instagram, so Instagram's like a weird thing for me. So I remember back in the day, like I didn't even have an Instagram, and some girl like took a picture of my shoes, and she was like, I'm gonna put this on my Instagram, and I was like, oh, this is another dumb app. So then she's like, you should download it, and I was like, all right, fine. I downloaded it, and I remember like for my entire like first year of having it, I had like under 1,000 followers, and it was like, I thought I was like famous. I was like sick. I remember looking on like the Mad Gear riders at the time, like their pages. I remember they had so many followers, and it was like Joe Armstrong or like Colin De Silva or someone like on the old Mad Gear team that had like 111 posts, like 1,111 followers, and they're following 111 people. And I just thought it was like, oh my gosh, like look how many followers they have. That's the only reason I remember is because it's all ones. But now it's like, I have like 20K now, and it's like, it's sick, and it's like, it's cool that I can like share my photography and like share like my attempts at scootering and share just like who like the things that I do. It's like, it's really cool to me. Like I know it gets a lot of hate, and I know there's a lot of like, it takes away from edits and stuff like that. Like there obviously is some negative sides, but I feel like as a source, like it's really awesome. There's no like unnecessary crap on there like Twitter. Like I hate Twitter. So yeah, I think Instagram's like done really good for the sport, but kids just need to stop uploading like ridiculous bangers. I think the scooter community is like a family, and what I mean by that is we bicker a lot, we argue, we don't all agree, but we love each other, and we have like just so much like passion, and like we fight a lot about like Parker Street. We fight a lot about like vlogs and no vlogs. We fight a lot about it like another thing. But like when it really comes down to it, like we're all scooter riders. We all have each other's backs. We like just look at the DC thing. Like there was recently like a DC shoe ad that like got people all upset. I thought it was kind of funny. But like if you just see like how passionate those kids are, and like how passionately people got into like that, it's really awesome. Like we really do have each other's backs, even though we like bicker and stuff. But that's just with anything. Like I really do like the scooter community. So yeah, I'm going to Barcelona. Then I'm working at Woodward all summer. Well, most of summer. So I hope to see you guys there. And as soon as I get back from that, then it's like going back down to San Diego. And then I think to Colorado for feasts, because there's feasts in Colorado. But yeah, those are my travel plans. So basically just Europe, Woodward, San Diego, Colorado. Yeah. So I've traveled down to Southern California numerous times, but I've also traveled to Australia, and that was amazing. Like some of the best experiences of my life. I went down there. But yeah, just around like California, I've been to like the East Coast a few times. Went to like Bing Clun Club and like Black Diamond Skate Park, RIP. And I used to live in Colorado, so I went to Colorado a lot, and just various states around there. I fractured my foot the day before Woodward one day. Like I was gonna work there for like 3 weeks at the time, and I fractured my foot the night before, and they said it would take like 3 weeks to heal. And I was like, wow, like sick. So I'm gonna be at Woodward for 3 weeks and not ride. But then the fracture ended up being like old, because I got an x-ray of it, and then the fracture like ended up just being like old, and like it wasn't actually a problem. So then I got to ride. So I've gotten a few concussions. Oh, I tried a 720 flyout one time, and I smacked my face really hard. And when I went for the trick, the daylight was different than when I woke up, and I was the only one at the skate park. So yeah, getting knocked out at my own local alone, that sucked. So that was probably like my worst. Aside from scootering, I take photos of scootering. I used to be a lacrosse player. I played lacrosse for 12 years. I like cats. All right, so I get asked quite a bit how I got the name White Trash Willy, and basically, like I have this friend. I still have this friend. His name is David Gutierrez, and I basically wore this Enjoy hat back in the day, and it was a picture of a garbage truck on it that said White Trash. And I wear it every day to school. And then one day in my English class, David like yells at me, and he's like, "Hey, White Trash Willy." I was like, "Hey, that's really funny, that's really catchy." So then I made that my Instagram name, and the joke just like, I guess it just never stopped. It was just the joke, White Trash Willy. So to be honest, it's like I only take pictures at a certain time of day. Like I take pictures around the sunset time, and from like right about the time the sun's going like down until like I stop taking pictures until like after nighttime. I think that's like the prime time to shoot photos. Like I try to like only shoot then, because like not only for like a cliche like sunset picture, but just like right before that time, like right before like the clouds like turn purple and pink, there's like this nice like beating sunlight that just looks so good in pictures. And I just like, it gives like a nice orange glow to like anything behind it. I love that. So like recently I've been basing like my photos off the time of the day, or like I'm looking for when I shoot a photo is like a spot or like a skate park or like a certain trick that somebody can do. Like if somebody's like really good at a certain trick, I'll like shoot a photo of them doing that. But just like, something that I always try to do is when I'm like about to take a photo, I always like envision the photo in my head exactly how I want it to look. And if it looks like relatively like close to that, then I think I did a pretty good job. If it turns out like obviously it's not gonna be exactly the same as I think in my head, but like if it turns out like basically how I want it, I'm stoked on it. But I never just go into a photo like, all right, well, I'm gonna shoot this and I hope it turns out. Like I always try to like have an idea of what it's gonna be before it is. It felt really good shooting the cover of the most recent ScootMag. It's my first cover I've ever shot. I've had photos in magazines before, but that was my first like cover. It was really cool. I shot a really similar photo of Clayton about 2 years before that. And then that was always one of my favorite photos, and the scooter firm actually has a print of it in the store. And that was always like one of my favorite photos. And then Jordan Clark came to Claremont one day. I was like waiting for like Brandon James or someone to meet up with them, but then ended up Jake Hershey just like dropped off Jordan Clark and was like, film him, and I was like, okay. So we ended up like not filming like very much at all, and we ended up just shooting photos, and we shot like three or four photos that ended up in that ScootMag. So it was like a really, really productive session. Yeah, so basically like the sunset was like really good. I set up my flashes how I remembered setting them up for the photo of Clayton, and I just shot a photo, and it turned out like really sick, like quick. And like I was like really hyped on the photo, and Jordan was like super hyped on it, and it was my first time ever meeting him too, and it was like, all right, well, we shot a sick photo, and then it got released, and then the photo was out, and I was like shoot, like I shot a cover. Like, that's what it was. All right, guys, thanks for watching my interview. My Hour in the Barnyard will be out this Friday. Make sure to like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Hope you guys learned something about me. I'm pretty boring, but yeah, follow me on Instagram at White Trash Willy. Follow my sponsors; they'll be in the description. So yeah, have a good day, guys.